didn't have anything in your way. It wasn't like a spiral noodle, so it's either a tunnel or a noodle. And it was the rainbow.
A horrendous crash on a snowy mountain bridge plunged 3-year-old Chris Eggleston into a freezing lake.
Was that scary?
Yeah. And our mom yelled to take our seatbelts off. But when we crashed, behind us was a car with 6 trolls in it. He was the first man dead in my life, who saw us go around the curve, but when he came around the curve, he didn't see us anymore. So he took his flashlight and looked down off the bridge, and he could see us, could see our car. So he had to dive like 5 or 6 times to get down far enough to get to me. And during all that time, I was having a near-death experience.
Chris Eggleston had, again, a typical child's near-death experience, in the sense that it's brief, fragmentary, difficult to comprehend.
I started falling through this noodle. It was coming closer and closer. And I went inside it, and it was all like a rainbow. And then at the end, there was a wall with smaller, just 2 smaller tunnels that would lead to like an animal having their hands.
And he was in a car, which filled up with water, and he nearly drowned. He said suddenly everything went blank. He was then out of his body, surprised to be there, felt that eventually he could learn to swim or somehow move himself in the air. Said that he went to a place that he called the human heaven and made some sort of choice to return to his body. But interestingly enough, he says that he was in a huge noodle until he realized that noodles don't have rainbows in them, so it must have been some sort of tunnel.
Children's experiences have the common features.
And then I didn't know which was which, so I started floating down towards the animal line. Then I ran into this humongous flower. And then inside I found a honeybee that was like as big as I was now, like 3 I knew he liked me, so he gave me some bread.
His parents had no religious beliefs whatsoever. He doesn't encounter something that he thought was God. His heaven is a very commonplace description of heaven in that it was a golden castle with pearly gates, the kind of thing that I think virtually every child is exposed to. He says he had a bumblebee as a helper that assisted him with the experience. In other words, I think a more religious child typically describes guardian angels as assisting them with the experience. In his case, it was a bumblebee, a very non-religious image in keeping with his very non-religious background. The one message I've learned from children's near-death experiences is that we die the life we live.
Went straight, and it didn't have anything in your way. It wasn't like a spiral noodle, so it's either a tunnel or a noodle, and it was the rainbow.